Vengeance, Most Fowl!
The Wallace and Gromit stories are usually pretty self-contained. There's not like a lot of ongoing continuity. There's little nods to the past. But how did you decide to bring back Feathers McGraw and kind of go a little bigger on connecting to the past?
Yeah, you're right. We've never done that before, and wasn't really planned as like a sequel, really, was it? It was actually the initial idea years ago was what if Wallace invents a smart gnome or a robot gnome to help Gromit in the garden, and we playing around with that for a few years on and off, and it was always a bit apparent that it needed something more, something like a motivated villain, someone with a personal something against Wallace and Gromit, and it seems obvious now, but it was I remember the lightning strike idea. What a chance to bring Feathers back.
Yeah.
Feathers McGraw, you have been found guilty of the attempted robbery of the Blue Diamond.
The thing about Feathers that amazes me is he has no pupils and his mouth doesn't open, and yet I feel emotion from him. What is the magic trick of that character?
Less is more. I think when Nick created Feathers, he kind of struck gold with the graphic simplicity and the very contained nature of Feathers, and we've really tried to continue that. Even though he has a lot more screen time and a lot more to do in this film, we have actually tried to hold him back even more, because he's so simple. When he does move, you see it, and so those little movements have to be very carefully choreographed, and even down to a blink. I mean, we would debate a blink because it makes you think he's thinking something, and so that whole process was really the hardest thing to do actually on the whole film, was to get Feathers to be kind of the powerful villain that he is.
Yes, it's really the art of the power of simplicity, really, and minimalism and nuance.
Wait till you see the next thing I'm working on. A smart gnome.
You mentioned the initial idea for this about the gnome, and obviously Wallace's inventions have been core to this throughout the entire history of Wallace and Gromit. How fun, or is it a challenge to come up with them each time, and the complexity of them and how they're going to work and look on screen?
Yes, I think it's both great fun and a great challenge.
Yeah,
at the same time.
It's fun when you have the idea.
Yeah.
And then when you realise you've got to make it happen, you go,
Yeah. What's nice is that you kind of feel, we're designing and having them built by this great art department, art directors we have. You can draw them on paper, and it's like being an inventor yourself, because then they become because it's stop motion, they become real, and you don't need to understand how they work, but they do work, and without any scientific knowledge on our behalf.
How's my favourite pooch? Another great day of inventing beckons.
This is the 35th anniversary of the debut of Wallace and Gromit. Clearly, at this point, there is a multi-generational fan base for it. What do you think it is about these characters that really have continued to resonate and kind of bring people such joy? I know whenever I know there's a new Wallace and Gromit project, I'm so excited, and I see that in friends of mine.
That's great, isn't it? Great. I have to pinch myself to think it's happening. The Grand Day Out was the film I made at college. It was a college film that Aardman helped me to finish, and to think that people are reacting, or it's time to absorb and into culture, and it's incredible to just feel people's excitement. Sorry, answer your question though. I think it's to do with the different things. It's to do with the dog-human relationship. We're a world of, especially dog lovers, pet lovers, and we read into our animals what they're thinking. So I think it really resonates there.
I talk to my dog like he's a human. Yeah.
Do you think you guys know this better than I do, but it's hard work to make Wallace and Gromit. It's, stop motion isn't easy. Do you think it almost kind of helps that you can't put it out all the time? It makes it special that it's an event when they come back.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does.
Anything that's worthwhile takes a lot of time. I guess it's a metaphor for that, really.
Yeah.
A real living metaphor.
If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah. They take time to cook, don't they? These
do.
things. Then
And it's not just the animation;
ideas-wise.
it's the idea and the preparation and the making sure you've got something that's worth putting that time and effort into. You know, you can't just go, oh, let's make a film. You've got to be really sure that the idea has legs with really knobbly knees and is worth making.
Yeah.
Well, guys, the knees held up great. This was a wonderful movie. Thanks so much for talking to me today.
Thank you.
Much. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks. Take
Well,
care.